Hi, welcome to Create with Fran. Today I'm making a wreath and I have this dollar store 18-inch wreath form here, wreath ring. And I'm going to start just by gluing this sisal down along the whole front of it. And when I get to where I started, I'm just going to do another right behind that one. And keep going. Just carrying on around till I get full coverage here. You may notice going forward, I won't be editing my videos as much. So, I'm going to try to not record when it's just repetitive work, or I will not be speeding it up or just editing in general so much, because I suffer from what's called cyber sickness, in which the screen can bother me, just like similar to motion sickness. My eyes don't do well with the back and forth on my videos, trying to find the right timing to stop it and start. And so I just thought I'd mention that. Going forward, I'll have a little less editing, and hopefully it won't be too annoying. Again, you can always change the speed when you watch, or skip through it yourself when you're watching. So, but I want to be able to continue sharing my crafting hobby. Again, it's just the screen time for me that makes it difficult. So, anyways. Okay, I've gotten right back to where I started there. I've got a full, nice coverage covering the outside of the, right to the outside of the wreath. I am also going to put one strip on this inside rim here so you don't see the wreath form. So, just going to cut that on an angle. There, and then I'll just do this one on the inside here, so I've got full coverage. And this is my start. That was my finish there. So I'm going to put this over here too, because this is where my anchor will sit. Actually, I think this will work better if I turn it over. And there we come to the end. I'll give that a sit. cord here from the dollar store. I've got a couple sizes, so I'm going to go use this smaller size. And I'm going to wrap it around. Start in the back. And probably three, 4 times at each. I do it here, 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 and here. Sort of like a life buoy look, or maybe five times, yeah. Okay, and then one last one. And get 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Glue. Then I'm just going to put a little glue, like I did on the others, in between. And just a little secure. Okay. So I got this little wood sign here. I threw in one of my thrift bags. And I don't want it to be an arrow, so I'm just going to snip this other side off. And I'm just using these. I got these marked. These are my scissors that are just for doing things like this. So I'm just going to cut it all off first. And then try to make it jaggedy like the other edge. And I'm going to take this off. And I'm just going to give it a paint. A little bit of paint. Yeah. So once the white was dry, I then painted it a brown. This was a mix of umber brown and twill. And then once the brown was dry, I painted it a light blue. Now I let that dry. It was still a little tacky, and then I used some Scotch tape to peel off some of the paint. So I wanted it to have that weathered look, like it had been painted a few times and peeling. I then used some of this sisal rope to make the AHOY letters. And then I added a little antique brown wax to the some of the rope and around the edges of the sign just to give it a little bit more of an aging look. So I wired this anchor onto my wreath ring so it would be nice and secure. And then I glued some thicker gray rope here onto the anchor, onto the AHOY sign so that I could look like it was hanging off the anchor. I did glue this sign to the anchor as well at the bottom. And then the last thing is I added some of this mesh burlap ribbon. I had just got this on one of my thrift store trips. I share all of my thrift hauls in short videos here on my channel if you'd like to check that out. But yes, I had got some of this mesh burlap that I thought it looked like netting. So I'm going to add that to the anchor wreath here too. And that's my nautical anchor wreath. I live right across from the ocean here, so this will be a nice summer wreath for my door. Thank you for creating with me.